YouTubers, hello SHIANS friends. Thank you for watching today, and here we are, another week. They fly by. Here's a quick reading for our stars today. We're just going to start off with a little bit of computer stuff, so we're going to just press spacebar and see what comes up. Oh, that was nice and quick. Okay, so environment is 3, relationships is it's showing here only 1, so need to work on our relationships at the moment, everyone. Luck and fortune, oh, actually 5 for luck and fortune. Now that's very good. Lottery ticket, or maybe just feel lucky and go to do something adventurous, so that's good. Our luck and fortune is very good. A health 3 could be better, wealth could be better. Overall 1, not too bad, but definitely a much more luckier time at the moment, and our environment is much more comfortable and helpful. So I think we need to concentrate a little bit on our relationships, everyone. But now the weather's good, it's good to get out and see friends, meet friends. Anyway, if you don't feel like going out, give them a call. Anyway, so that's good. So that's environment, and then we're just going to quickly do our lucky dip. So if you can see that on the screen, I'm just going to press, see what comes up. What's going to fly into our future. Should be able to hear it in the background, beeping away. Oh, here it comes. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, da-da. Okay. Oh, so this goes in with our stars. It says problem was with a friend or lover. So it's definitely a time for all of us to concentrate on our special person in our life, or anybody around that you feel needs a little bit of support, but is showing that we're having problems with other people. So let's try and communicate better and have a bit better time, or keep a secret. Perhaps that's a problem with a friend, you didn't keep their secret. And it says a pleasing event to consider. So let's hope that's going to be good. This is dedicated, this reading today is dedicated to a friend that's in hospital. So wishing you well, M, and a pleasing event to consider. Hopefully that's going to be for you, so you'll start to feel better very, very soon. So if anybody else would like a dedication to a friend or something to done for a friend, please let me know, and we can follow that up and do a little reading for them. But this is for M in hospital, wishing you better, and here's to the future of being much more healthier and happier. So we all need to look after our friends and think of our friends and sort things out. So I hope my friend that has problems, his problems will soon be resolved. So here's to everyone for better times ahead. So thank you for SHIANS YouTube there. Our little friend is just doing that. We're just going to move this away now because we don't need that anymore, do we? So we're just going to move that out of the way. Now we're getting closer to this time of year now. Each astrology, we have different times of the year when one sign is more prominent than the other. So at the moment, because we're coming to end of July, going into August, we're coming up to Leo, so our Leo friends. So this is a good time of year for Leos, obviously. Yellow is the key colour for Leo, because it represents the sun, and Leo is represented by a lion, Leo the lion, and because of that, a lot of Leos are well known for their hair. They have loads of hair, or strong hair, very dynamic hair. Whenever you see anyone with loads of hair, which looks wonderful, almost like a lion's mane, they often would have some Leo in them. If they're not a pure Leo, well, nobody's pure anything sign, everyone depends on your ascendant and stuff, but if your sun sign's more Leo, and also if you've got other signs also that lean towards Leo in other parts of your, like your emotions and things like that, it will show those kind of elements of a Leo. So it'll have good hair, very generous in nature, and sometimes give too much to their detriment sometimes, because they are very generous, very caring people. They tend to be very creative, so it could be a musician, creative writer, actor, anything like that. And creativity doesn't always necessarily mean you have to sit down and you do a painting. Creativity comes in other ways, but Leos are generally creative people. So so enjoy your time, Leo. We certainly have the sun for this for the Leo at the moment. So long when we consider that. So also for Leos, it's a fire sign. So our red mat here, our red colour in the background, suits the fire. So that means they're very kind of passionate and energizing kind of people. So that's good signs for our lovely Leos at the moment. Yeah, look after yourselves then. So for them also as well, if you would like some more attributes of Leo, would like to have the more sunnier, passionate level of them, yellow is a good sign for good colour for that sign for Leos. Golden yellow particularly. So I hope our lovely Leos can have a nice time. Now, as promised from last week, we have our three friends here. There we are. Let's put them a bit more near into the centre for you. Now, so as promised from last week, this is our lovely friend or friends, our triple action here today. Our lovely friends, the Selenite. Now, these are particularly good for Taurians and Cancerians. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're bad for anybody else. It doesn't say they're negative. Some crystals are not so good for other signs, but so Selenite is particularly good for Taurus and Cancerians. Now, it does have a worldwide what would you say? Wouldn't say growth, would you? Collection. So it does sort of form in many parts of the world. So it's really quite easy to get hold of in that way. And it's not a majorly expensive stone. Some stones, like zircon, for example, is very small, not easy to get hold of, so quite expensive. So some crystals are quite expensive, but these, I would say, is a good average price that most of us could manage, depending on the size, because the size is obviously the bigger they get, the more expensive they would be. But these little pieces are not too expensive, but lovely pieces. And as you can see, and as I expressed last week, Selenite comes up in kind of different forms. There's one side of it, which is quite opaque, and this form, if you look carefully, it does look a bit like a rose, doesn't it? So this actually Selenite crystal is called Desert Rose. Here's another, let's put up the other piece, and you can see more here, like it's almost like petal-like, isn't it? Beautiful, really. So it's like a little rose. So they call this form of Selenite where it's more opaque, and opaque as in like you can't see through it, more opaque. So this form of Selenite is actually called Desert Rose, which I think describes it beautiful because it's got a sandy colour, but it's also looks like a rose, like rose petals. And here's the other form. Now this is almost like glass, so it's very pretty. If we get it a little bit closer, so parts of it you can see through, other parts you can't. Now the bits you can see through here, in very ancient times they used to use selenite as glass. So if they had a very special picture they wanted to look after, especially in ancient times when it was a religious picture, they would put selenite in front of it to protect it like glass. So it was often used in pictures and that to kind of, put in front to protect it. So it does have a good long history, selenite, and that's why it's really good. So in ancient times this would have been used quite a lot, still is now. Beautiful crystal. You can see you can pick up different colours from it really, so it's beautiful. And this one form of it this goes into way modern times, as much as it's much as ancient in time and the time it's formed to actually be able to then be broken from its main source of the earth. This form, the desert rose, is used a lot to protect us from computer waves. So it's a very good modern crystal. So this is one for today, really. So if you work on a computer an awful lot and you're away around it, it's not really good for us to be sitting at a computer for hours and hours. We do always need to have half an hour's break, walk away from it, whatever. But this crystal protects us a little bit. So if you're going to be sitting at a computer a long time, or your work involves that an awful lot, it's good to have some of these around your computer or on your desk where your computer is, or nearby, or have it in your pocket even. So this little friend here helps us with computers in terms of protects us from any negative waves that we might get from it. And the tiredness that it does cause sometimes, because it can drain us. So this form of selenite is particularly used as a modern day healer. So there's those two there, and as I said, very, very beautiful, just like a little rose, isn't it? Just like a little rose. So yeah, there we are. So they do obviously bring many different things to our lives to help us. So I'll just quickly go through some of those, just so you know what's going on. So in terms of like, they're traditionally called the rejuvenator. So they're supposed to kind of recharge us and clears sort of like negativity around us. And as I said, with definitely the desert rose, protects us from like negative waves around us, which we all need in our modern times these days. And because of its kind of, you can see through it in that way, in this form of selenite, it's saying very much, traditionally it says that it helps you see below the surface to actually get to the truth of matters, to find out what really is going on in the situation, so you can understand. So it's quite good to have around when there are problems, because it helps you have a clearer vision of what's going on, and to actually find out the truth, what's going behind a certain situation. It kind of helps enhance our willpower and our strength. And it allows us to have more insight, so we can be a bit more flexible in our decisions as we go forward into the future. So it's really helpful for that. It is actually good for our fertility and your sex drive. So if that's a bit of an issue, get a large piece and have it underneath the bed, and that may help. Also as well, it's good for tissue regeneration. Now, this can be used, therefore, if people have traumas, and it causes some forms of cancer. So it helps to regenerate the tissues in the body. This is going on from many hundreds of years of how it was used for healing traditionally. So we still keep on saying about it still have these elements in it, because this is what they was used for many years ago. But I think it's still important to understand that they can sort of can stabilise us by giving out some energy, because it comes from our earth. So these lovely, beautiful minerals come from our earth, where we all belong. So it's spreading the sort of goodness around us and everything. So traditionally, many years ago, it was used to kind of stabilise epileptic fits, help our skeletal system. So if people had some deformity, people would use that for the healing, to try and rebalance it, and that's what it helps the tissues and cancer tumours as well. So it's it is a very good crystal in that way, that it's a modern, traditional and very modern crystal all in one. There are some crystals like that go way back, like amber, for example, and if that has a creature, because sometimes like insects would get trapped within water or something, and then eventually would form into an amber, and sometimes the creature's stuck within inside the stone, the crystal, and you can sometimes get pieces where there is an insect or something within it. That obviously shows really ancient times where it's taken a long time to fossilise and then develop into something. So, you know, these aren't just formed overnight. It can take, you know, hundreds of years to actually really form into something amazing. Some crystals are quicker, but it takes time to create these beautiful things. So that's why we have to realise that, you know, hundreds of years ago, the generations way before us would be using these to actually heal, because they wouldn't have antibiotics like we had. They would use them to heal, and that's why they're saying very much that with these it does sort of kind of therefore give us hope, really, doesn't it? To help to heal and help make decisions, and have a more flexible personality to try and accept the movement and changes that's going on around us. Now, this friend that I spoke to that is present in hospital, this crystal would be very good for them as well, because it is a great healer, and it matches their astrological sign as well. So if it matches your astrological sign, it's going to be more connected to you than it would any other. So as it's not saying these would be bad for other signs. You know, they would be if we looked into it to see what they're on. There are particular stones that do change things. For Aries, for example, they have to be a little bit careful with diamonds. Aries are a very, very strong sign, very powerful, very determined kind of people generally. Now, the diamond magnifies things. So if you were going somewhere where it was going to be very difficult, it wouldn't recommend wearing diamonds, because it would magnify the difficulty of the situation. So there are some crystals that are not so good for signs. So, you know, just diamonds are better for happy occasions, if you can remember to wear your diamonds on happy occasions. So get your tiara out when you're going to somewhere really nice and happy. So that's why crystals, ancient times, way back. So that's our selenite. So the clear selenite, and then our opaque desert rose. So two different kind of levels of age in some ways that can help us. And just remember, they come from the source of our earth, and our earth gives us much beauty and much goodness. The power of the earth can change many things in the seasons as well, as I talked about before. So beautiful crystals, so do consider them. It's worth thinking about them. May not be your thing, but this particular crystal, as I said, goes over generations with ancient times, and civilizations use this as glass, and nowadays it's considered as a protector with our computers. So thank you very much for your time. It's good having a little bit of time with you, and may the week ahead be very good. And just remember, by our Shine selector that we did on the computer today with our Lucky Dip, just remember about your friends and your star reading. Just remember about your friends, that if there are problems, it can be sorted. So put a hand of lovingness out to your friends and sort it out. So a little chat with a special person can often work things out. So think of your selenite. This is here to protect you and to look after you, and to remember that the flexibility of the selenite will help you with your relationships as well. So all the best to many Leos out there, to our crystal friends, crystal cuddles to you all, and here's to the next week ahead. Look after yourselves, take care, and thank you very much for spending a little bit of time with me, and we'll see you soon. All the best from SHIANS YouTube. Thank you. Goodbye. Bye for now. Take care. Bye.